Hi everyone, I'm Beth Narvaez, the director of DoDEA, and we're at the point in the school year where we say, how did we get here? We are already starting the last quarter of the school year. And a lot of things have happened since my last director's update, so I'm pleased to share a number of updates with you. But I also want to thank you for all of your hard work so far this school year, and I want to encourage you to finish the year strong. So first update is an exciting one. It is about the NAEP, the National Assessment of Educational Progress, otherwise known as the nation's report card. You will know that this is the only comparable assessment in the nation where we have results from every state in the nation. So it's the only comparable assessment. It's known as the gold standard for that reason. And I am so excited to share that again, this year, this NAEP administration, DoDEA was named the top performing school system in the nation. Just incredible results. You will note that that is twice in a row, DoDEA team, and that is thanks to the incredible work of our students, our educators, our staff, our families across the entire system. You know, I always say we are better together, and this shows what amazing things we can accomplish when we work toward the same goal. And I just want to say something else too. We are so proud of these incredible results, but none of us in DoDEA ever says, we're all done, that's it. We're resting on our laurels. We've done everything we want to do on behalf of our kids. So our story is amazing results, and we're going to continue doing the hard work each and every day on behalf of the kids that we serve. I'm also pleased to share that we have a new Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Jamie Linton. Jamie comes into the role having served in a number of key positions in DoDEA. She started in Korea, so she has experience in the field with our schools. She worked in the SIL as a professional practice improvement specialist, also served in the Ed Directorate overseeing the continuous improvement work there, and most recently, before taking on the role of Chief Academic Officer, served in the role as the Division Chief for Strategic and Organizational Excellence, where she led all of the strategic planning for DoDEA. So you can see she brings incredible experience to the role and will be critical in sustaining the high standards we have for our students and in preparing our students for their future. But I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the incredible leadership of Lori Pickle, who served in the acting Chief Academic Officer role. Lori, I just want to thank you for your leadership, your service, all of the energy and passion you bring to the role, and I'm pleased to share that she goes back to her role leading the Curriculum and Instruction Division, such an anchor of the Education Directorate. But thank you so much, Lori, for serving so admirably in the role as our acting Chief Academic Officer. In January, President Trump signed several executive orders which directly impact DoDEA. And our Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, subsequently issued some additional clarifying guidance. And I have to be clear, as a federal school system and a DoD entity, we are fully complying with the President's executive orders and the Secretary's guidance. And so I just want to thank you so much for your support in implementing the executive orders and this guidance. And so I'd like to give you a few updates on where we are with our implementation of each of those executive orders and DoD guidance. And I also want to thank you for your support in implementing. You know, we're a federal school system. We always comply with executive orders. And so thank you again for your support with the implementation of these orders and the subsequent DoD guidance. So first, you know that we've been doing a review of our resources. We're still working through that because we want to be intentional. We want to be thoughtful with our review. What we're finding so far is that, and I'm not making this up, I know this sounds like a made-up number, but more than 99.9% of our resources are in compliance with the executive order. So what does that mean for you if you're a teacher in a classroom? It means continue to teach to your standards, to use our DoDEA adopted resources, to continue to do what you do best. Again, with the exception of those very few resources that are under review, continue to do and bring your best teaching to our system, which I know you will do. And as we finish the review, we will get you specific guidance about the outcome of that review. But again, keep doing what you do best, teaching and taking care of our kids. I also would like to update you on a couple of exemptions that we got to some of the executive orders and DoD guidance. So first, I think you know that we have gotten an exemption for our school level staff to the hiring freeze that is in place for the Department of Defense. That's great news for us. You know, we've had a teacher hiring project for the past 2 years that ensures that we have 100% of teachers in classrooms on day one. We know teachers are our most important asset for student achievement. Great gains. 2 years ago, 88% of teachers in classrooms on day one. This year, 95% of teachers in classroom on day one. Because we have that exemption, we can continue with our hiring work for the next school year. So that was great news for DoDEA. We also have been granted a limited exemption on the travel restrictions so that we can continue to support our students with extracurriculars and athletics. And again, as other changes happen with these restrictions, I will continue to keep you updated. We also have an update about our GPC card. We were able to continue to purchase things that we need in schools, like snacks for our pre-kindergarten classes, like food for our culinary arts program, and other things schools need on a day-to-day basis. We've been able to maintain that posture and can continue to move forward in that way. And it also spurred us to do a review and to make sure we have the right controls in place. And in fact, we confirmed that we do for our use of the GPCs. So that's an update with another piece that had affected DoDEA. I have another personnel update to share with you, and that was recently announced this week, and that's the DoD Deferred Resignation Program. So school level staff are not eligible to participate, and our IT staff is not eligible to participate. But other staff members above school level are eligible for the Deferred Resignation Program. If you have questions about eligibility and for all the details about how to apply for that program, please look in the email that was sent out to all employees. There's a box where you can submit your questions. I promise you the team is on it, diligently responding within 24 hours to every question, and also every kind of comment or response that comes into that box. It will be open. The Deferred Resignation Program will be open from April 7th to April 14th. And again, if you have questions, please put your questions into that box. I want to go back to some recognitions. We have announced some regional principals of the year. You know, I always say, and I believe this with my whole heart, that leadership matters. And we have some great leaders that were recognized this year. I happen to know all of their work. I have seen them in their schools in action. And as I told my bosses at the Pentagon, these three leaders represent the best of DoDEA. So I am pleased to announce that Mandy Schwert-Johnson, the principal of Humphreys High School, was named the Pacific Regional Principal of the Year. Dr. Marion Leverett, the principal of Ankara Elementary High School, was named the Europe Principal of the Year. I actually happened to be visiting the school when she was named the Europe Principal of the Year, so super exciting to be there when they surprised her, so good job to Ankara for surprising her, and great to see her named the Europe Principal of the Year. And the Americas Principal of the Year is Mr. Miles Shea, the principal of Quantico Middle High School, a great leader, great culture builder in his school. And so congratulations. Well-deserved. This is a well-deserved recognition for all three regional principals of the year. We have a Teacher of the Year. Our 2025 Teacher of the Year, Susan Harris Boring, recently represented DoDEA at a convening of all the Teachers of the Year from across the nation. And I am so grateful for her continued work to represent DoDEA as a teacher leader. Your leadership matters, Susan. Thank you for continuing to represent us in such great ways. I have a few more recognitions I'd like to share. It is always so energizing and thrilling for me to get out in schools and to see your great work in action. And I always try to honor excellence when I visit schools. And on my recent visits, I've been able to honor 3 outstanding leaders. First, Susan Morris, who is an ISS, but she was stepping in as the acting principal at Elliott Elementary School. I'll tell you what, it was like Susan had been a principal for decades. Her confidence, the strong way that she led the school, how she pulled people together and really strengthened the culture of that school was really inspirational. So I was able to honor Susan with the director's coin on my visit to Elliott Elementary School. Again, talk about leadership. The next coin went to Carmaine Canada, who is the principal of Parker Elementary School, for her absolutely outstanding instructional leadership. And then I had my first ISS coin awarded to Nikki Marsters, who is an ISS in the Europe Central District. I got to see her in action, planning side by side with teachers, just modeling, talking about high quality instructional practices, how you plan for that. Again, truly inspirational, Nikki. And so congratulations to all those folks, and thank you for being a model of excellence and a model of excellence in terms of instructional leadership in DoDEA. Last but not least, and you can see I've purpled up here, April is the month of the military child, and I want to close by taking this opportunity to once again celebrate our amazing students. They are the reason we do this work. They are our future, and they represent the best of America. I continue to be so honored to be part of this incredible school system and to work with such dedicated and passionate and talented educators and staff in the service of our military-connected students and families. Thank you again for all that you do. Finish the year strong. Thank you.
Do you have a question for the director? If so, we want to hear from you. Visit DoDEA Connects to submit your question today.